Hey guys, it's Lisa and welcome to my channel. Today, as I promised before, is my open house tour. Now here's what we call the farmhouse section or the farm kitchen section of the store. And many of you will recognize this tree here that we put vintage kitchen items on. So, and my kitchen items aren't for sale on the tree. On this particular tree, some of those came from my house. And so, what's on that tree is not for sale. But any of the ornaments that I'm making, that I put on that tree, I will have somewhere else in a container like these. This is the little recipe boards that I did as ornaments on that same video. And here are some gingerbread men or women here. And so those are for sale. These are the Santa ornaments that Tammy did. Here are some of my wood trees and farmhouse style boards. I did that on a video not that long ago. And there's a decoupaged can. This old screen door is part of my wall, and that came from a very old church that was torn down, and I bought some of the things out of that. And here are some cookie cutters. I do have cookie cutters on my tree. And I have a candy cane, I think, on there. But there's the candy canes. And I'm just going to show you kind of what I have on the tree in case you didn't see me putting this one together. But when you're decorating a tree for your kitchen, it's very easy because things that you wouldn't think you could put on a tree, some of the larger items, especially like this sifter here, you wouldn't think that you could use that, but putting just a small amount of vintage items on a smaller tree like this, I think this one is a 4-foot tree, if I'm not mistaken. It may be 5 foot, but you don't have to put very many items like that on it to give it that look. And I always think that the red and white checkerboard gives it that, I guess, 50s style look, and it just makes it look very vintage. I love also the red with the turquoise. And then, let's see, here are just some cutting boards I have displayed. And here are some of the boards that we stenciled on or added a transfer to. And some of you might remember me doing this burlap sack. This was an item that was given to me by a friend, and the only problem that I had with it is it had, the green was a little bit brighter than I wanted, so I heavily sanded it and then went over it with some Van Dyke brown glaze. Some of you will remember this box that I decoupaged this image on, and I linked the place where you can find those in that video, but I just absolutely love the look of that, and if I think I'll add that link to this description so that if you still want to look for that, you can find it. And then this is just some bed springs, baby bed springs that I put on the wall. I don't have a whole lot on that yet. And then these are some welcome boards that we started making this year. We've made welcome boards for a while, but this is the first year that I decided to add that roof for a house, and I just thought that was appropriate for a welcome board. And then here are some cutting boards that my husband cut out. This one in the front is just one that I bought wholesale and just tied a little something around to make it Christmassy. And then here is still some of the fall stuff because sunflowers go well this time of year. And here's some decoupaged boards that I think Kaylee did most of these and antiqued around the edges, and we packaged those up, and those sell well. And then here are some of the ornaments that are going to be on that tree. And these I made some time ago in a video, and all that I did different was just package them. I either packaged them or I added that hang tag to them to make them more Christmassy, and added that little plaid fabric. And then here are some of them that we had made, and that's the ones that I actually packaged. Now here is a set of wooden pumpkins that are hinged. I made those in a previous video, and I haven't, I wanted to wait and bring those out for the open house, but that's the only set that I did. I intended to make some more, but time got away from me, so I didn't get to do that. And here again is some more of the fall stuff left. I don't have a lot of it left because I don't know if it's your all's experience if you have a booth or a store, but for me, fall items, for those who decorate for fall, they are quick to put it out, and then, or quick to buy it anyway. And so if you don't get it sold early on, there's some pumpkins there on the top. If you don't get it sold early on, then you end up stuck with it for the next year. So I'm just not, at this point, I'm not making any more fall. This is a welcome board that I added some of the transfers from the Dixie Belle set, Sunflower, and added that here and there on the letters, and I thought that made that a good piece for fall. And I don't even think it's limited to fall. And then this is a cabinet door that my sister painted and stenciled on, and added some drawer pulls to it, and made a tray for Thanksgiving, or that's kind of what it makes me think of. This is just some little cast iron chickens that I have for sale. Okay, this is what I wanted to show you. This is an item that Tammy is making on her channel. She is, so it's saying with, without, and with. So these are some cast iron conditioner, little things of cast iron conditioner. And she makes them with grapeseed oil and beeswax. And this side is the one that she conditioned with that. This is the one that she did, and it makes a really big difference. And it's all natural, so it's very safe to use, but I think it just makes your cast iron so much prettier. So that's I'm going to add that link in the description, and there's also another item that I'm going to be showing you that she makes, and I'll add that link. And again, that's just some more of the fall. And I didn't do a whole lot of garland this year. I did some wreaths in place of where I would normally put my garland, because I wanted to keep it a little bit more simple. Now this is a little vignette that I had set up, and I absolutely loved those colors and those plates. I really love those, and I thought that that would sell, but it kind of hasn't moved. So I've sold an item or two, but not anything like I thought that I would. But I'm just going to leave it there. Somebody's going to love it the way I do. And then there's a shelf. My husband made this wall here. He had put windows in the top when we first started this shop, but then he since added some barnwood walls for me so that I would have some dark behind my white and give it a lot more contrast. Now this is the other area that I was going to tell you about. There's just some more of those cutting boards, and this is the other area that I was going to show you that Tammy makes. And this is the wood butter, and it conditions your wood. And again, it is food safe. As you can see, she's got one spoon labeled here that's conditioned with the butter, and then that's the one that is not. So these two on the right she has conditioned with the wood butter, and the ones on the left she didn't. So that works really well. And again, it is, let's see, 2 ingredients, I think, mineral oil and beeswax. So there again, it's very safe. So then we've got that displayed there with the bread bowls or the dough bowls. Now this is another area in the store, and I didn't do anything Christmassy to this area because it's just a little hallway, and I had some plans to maybe do a little bit more with it. Not really much though, but Tammy's been sick today, and so we're a little bit pressed for time. And here is the other side of that little jewelry hallway. And we haven't done much to it except just add some more jewelry. And there's more that we could add, but again, time has been limited. So, but I think we have plenty, and Tammy keeps it all organized and labeled, and she just takes some old sets and puts them on some cardstock, and Kaylee antiques around the edges of them, and it just makes these items sell so much better. This is the other side of that hallway, and what you're seeing there in the back is some of my crafting supplies. So I'm not going to show you that room. It's not that pretty, except that it does have this pretty tree in it with all of your all's hang tags. And I just love that tree, and I'm just going to keep on adding. But this is the other side of that. And these little grow charts, Tammy made those with fencing boards, and she has a stencil for that, for those numbers, and she made some cute little tags for them. And there's some little pillows that that I actually bought these when Hobby Lobby had their 75% off sale after Christmas last year. So I was able to buy those, and they're ready to go out. And then Tammy hung some of the ornaments on this little wall. And then here is the gingerbread area. This tray, I'm going to put something with it, but that's going to be one of the door prizes for tomorrow. This little set here is also going to be one of the door prizes, and I have some more, but I just don't have those out. Now here are those little key rings that we made, and then I had this little set of Santa mugs. I don't really decorate with Santa mugs, but some people like that, and so I do have that. And then there are some of the other gingerbread ornaments, and another one of Marty's benches that he made. But I think that little area turned out cute. Now this is the little paint shed area. This used to be the area that my husband sold some of his items from, but he got too busy outside and just couldn't keep it stocked, so he lost it to my paint section. But all we did here is just add a few little Christmassy touches, and just kind of kept it simple. Now right next to the paint area is, I just set up a little section there, and there's another one of my welcome boards. And here is those little trees, and I'll show you what they look like here. That's one of those. But I ordered that greenery, and then we just put them on little pieces of wood. We drilled a hole in it and glued them down in there and tagged them. And those will make good little tiered tray trees. So again, here is that section. These are some angels that my husband cut out. Now this is what we call the garden section. This just happens to be Tammy's favorite section, so she does most of the decorating in this area. Here is where we sell flags. I've got to put more of the Christmas flags out. I haven't gotten quite to that yet. But we've just kind of got an array of more garden related items in this area. And there's another barnwood wall that my husband did for us. And Tammy's just kind of added some touches to this area. There's the candle sets that we started making this year and some of the trees. I made these one year. I don't have a video doing those because my husband says he's not cutting any more of those. Those are just way too hard and they're dangerous to cut. So then I did these ornaments in a previous video. Some of you will remember that. These are some more of the decoupaged boards. And let's see. So down here is some more of the little packaged ornaments that I do. Or these are actually aren't ornaments here. These are just the little boards that are decoupaged. And so we just kind of got an array of items in here. And I liked these. These were some napkins that we decoupaged on the Dollar Tree framed ornaments, and or the Dollar Tree frames. And then, now I guess they were ornaments because they had the beads on the top for a hanger. But we just decoupaged on the top of those after we painted them. Those napkins, actually, Tammy found at Walmart last year, and I've not been able to find those. I absolutely love them. But I'm just kind of showing you through this area. It's just, we kind of do a Mod Podge of, a Mod Podge, I guess it's called, of just different items in here. And then there's some trees. I actually got those trees clearance last year at Hobby Lobby. And there's some more of them. And my husband made this tree. It's just made from pallet wood. And this big set of trees, some of you will remember this video that I did of the smaller trees, and then I added that set to them. So he made some of these, and it's a fairly large set, and they're very heavy, but they'll be good for like mantles. And there's some of my ornaments. And here are some plant markers. I bought those wholesale. These are some more of those trees that I did, and some of the wreath ornaments. This piece of furniture here, we both love it so much. We had been wanting to do something similar to this when we redid this area. And I just happened to find this one at auction, and it was an online auction. I thought I was going to get it for $5, and I was so excited, but as time got very close to the end of the auction, I ended up having to pay more than I wanted to for it. But I think it was worth it. I really love the way it looks. I just had to lightly sand it, and then Tammy did all this stenciling on it. So here's another welcome board. I did that one with the magnolia transfer. And then here is a wood tree. This is one I bought wholesale, and I just stuck a wreath on it, and then that was a simple thing to put out for Christmas. So here is the whole area again. And I do love this area, not as much as Tammy loves it, because she loves all things garden related. So now here is a section. I actually bought out someone's collection of stamps, and many of these are for card making. So I don't really do much with that. And so I just kind of, Tammy bagged them up and displayed them this way, and we'll see if they sell that way. These are the nativities that my husband cut this large one out for me, and then I started making these little small ones also. So there is that section. Now this is one side of the outside of the she shed, and I just kind of put some greenery here and didn't do a whole lot with this. Another one of my welcome boards there, and that's an old frame that I dressed up for Christmas, and I just displayed some of my ornaments in this thing that I had made a while back. Actually, I didn't make it, I just repainted it and added that transfer to it. And then these are some of the icicles, and again, I didn't do much with that tree. My idea here was just to get some greenery over here and be able to display some of my items. This is an angel that I actually bought wholesale, and I just had to repaint it and change it up some. Here's another set of those trees, and as you can see, they're a fairly good size. The tree on the left there is a 4-foot tree, and that's the size of those block trees. And there's some of my tongue depressor snowmen, and that's an old bird cage that I bought from someone, and all I had to do to it was sand it and dress up the top a little bit, and it made a good Christmas item. So there's that, and I didn't do much with the top, just put some greenery up there. But there is that section. Okay, here is my mantle area, and I kept it very simple and neutral, but I wanted to display all these beautiful angels that my husband made. And he made these out of fencing boards. The smaller ones are the wholesale ones that I just stenciled, but these large ones he cut out, and I just did a paint finish on them and added a vintage drawer pull around the neck, and I thought those turned out really neat. And I just like the substantial size of them, and it makes a good mantle piece. But there's my crusty old mantle that I could have sold probably 1,000 times over, but I don't want to part with it. I love this little mantle, and it makes a good little display for the store. There's another set of those trees, and there's a cloche with some trees inside it, and another welcome sign. Now here is the little she shed, and that's what you see when you first come in the front door. And so there on one side, I've got a couple of those little angels, and then a couple on the other side. So I have all my little shabby chic touches in here. And I'm sorry for the sound of the bobcat going, but my husband is working on some plumbing issues. Of all times to have some plumbing issues, it was today while we're trying to get ready for tomorrow, but that's okay. They're gonna handle it, but it's just kind of noisy today. So here are some of the little areas. Many of you saw the video where we decoupaged on the inside of these walls. So all of the walls in here have some sort of decoupage on them. And Tammy and I had Mod Podge all over us that day, and we actually worked on it for 2 days. And I was getting Mod Podge off my hand for days because it was just everywhere, and it was just built up in layers, and so it was just, as you can see, every wall in here is done that way. And you would think that it would make it hard to decorate, but it really doesn't, because any color scheme that you decide you want to use, you're going to find it somewhere in that wallpaper. So it really works well, and it helps me pull some colors like these 3 colors, the yellow and green and pink, together, and it still works well with your wallpaper. It doesn't seem like it clashes at all. And I just, for curtains in this room, I just used some old tablecloths and folded them and just used those for, as you can see here, we even did our lower walls in that decoupage. But that was a very fun project, but again, it was so messy. Now here is is a tree. I like this little tree. I got this at Walmart for $35, and I think it's a 4-foot tree, but I absolutely love the look of that tree, and I love the color of it, and it works so well with that color scheme. And then here's this. So as you can see, I've got several different color schemes going on in here, and you can pull them out somewhere in that paper. So as you can see, even this color works really well with that wallpaper. There's some of my little wreath ornaments, and many of you saw that pumpkin done. Again, I left some of these items to just put out for open house, and they haven't had a chance to sell because they haven't been out yet. But some of these items have. If you'll notice in here, I use a lot of old ladders. We just happened to be blessed at the time with some old ladders, so I tried to use those in the design of the building. So this is when you first walk in the front door. So that's the she shed. And over here, this is kind of unsightly. We just have drinks because this is a landscape company, so the guys are always needing drinks. But then we have some little pretties on top of that. So I tried to go more rustic here because this seems like a more masculine area. And the last time we had one of these, which has been a couple years ago due to COVID, we struggled with having space for people's piles. So when there's that many people shopping at one time, there's the other side of that that beautiful screen door. And but anyway, because there was so many piles and it was hard to keep up with, we ordered some little baskets this year. So I'm hoping that that's going to be a big help. So from here you can see the jewelry area, and then to your left is the area for the honey. So we sell a lot of honey, and when we first opened, I decided to carry it just because I like the idea of having honey, but I thought it would be a slow sell. But boy, was I wrong, because honey sells so quickly, and I feel like honey is very pricey, but it doesn't matter, it still sells really well. So Tammy made these this year, and she just made these, and I thought these were so cute, and she had that little mold, so I love those little beeswax molds. And I have a friend who brings in apple butter when it's available, and that sells really well also. So I like this little area, and I love this little cabinet. When we first opened the store, this was in one of the sheds, and I think it was almost discarded, and we loved it so much. It's not perfect, it needs some work, but it works perfect for what I need it for. And then there's an old door that we used as a wall there. And I didn't mention on the she shed, those large windows. My husband had those when we first bought this, so he used them to make the she shed so that I could see through it from the front desk. And as you can see, there's the front desk up there. So I'm thinking that I've showed everything. So this is going in. And there are my bags, or my friend Jennifer's bags that she makes. And those have sold really well. So I've got those displayed and ready so that people will have their Christmas bags. So, and here's where we put all our little business cards that people bring in. And so there is where the mantle area is, just off the desk. And there is my bathroom, and I haven't gotten a wreath on that yet. I've got to get a wreath on that before tomorrow, so I just couldn't find another one, so I've got to go pick one up. So again, I'm kind of taking you through the whole area now to show you how it's set up, and I'm getting excited again. Today has been a hectic day, and Tammy hasn't felt well, so I made her go home, and she really wanted to be here, but I knew she didn't feel like it. So we were just kind of wondering if we were going to be able to make everything happen. And on top of everything else, KUB called us and said we have a leak because the water's running all night. So, and that was several days ago, and we just had to get something done with it, and they've been working on that all day today. So it's been very hectic, and I was almost regretting planning my open house, but now I am excited again, and I can't wait. And I love that day because I have a lot of people in and out, and it's just such a fun day to socialize and get to know people, and everybody's just in a really good Christmas spirit, and it's just a fun day, I think. So here's back to that, the farmhouse corner. And then I'm gonna show you a peek of my workstation, and don't judge it because it is a mess. And sadly, it's not as much of a mess as it usually is. So here is where I work from. And there is my mess. I meant to do a little more decorating. I definitely meant to do more decorating of the trees. But I think that this will be a good start. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you in the next. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great evening, and God bless you and your family.